Hi Nakul, how are you?
Hello, I am fine. Um, and how are you?
I'm good. Welcome to the Globinar on Startup in a Post-COVID World. We want to introduce Nakul Sheikh Dalal to all our viewers who's joining us here for the Globinar. Nakul is a founder of NS Legal and also considered to be an IP expert. So Nakul, do you want to tell them a little bit more about yourself and then we can jump to the questions?
Yes, I have been regularly involved in a lot of awareness activities
Okay.
and have been a regular speaker in various apex bodies and institutions. I have been chairing the Intellectual Property Council of SOCHM Gujarat
Okay.
since the last 5 years,
Okay.
and I've got an amazing opportunity to work at the rural and city level of the Gujarat state and meet various associations and industry bodies. I have also been a regular advisor in various chambers, national and international, and advising on intellectual property and how to go about it to various industry associations and the facets of the society. So, this is what I do apart from practicing intellectual property professionally. And I actually love to do this, spreading the word.
Okay, so Nakul, you want to tell our viewers about what is an intellectual property and how does it work?
Yes, so before I tell them what is actually intellectual property, I want to tell them where it came from, how did it all begin. So intellectual property was conceptualized in 1800s in Massachusetts Circuit Court in a case of Dowell versus Brown, where the court felt the need to define intellectual property as the labors and creations of the human mind. So intellectual property actually is not an intellectual activity, but it is an intelligent activity. So when you have an intellectual activity with a physical attribute to it, with a capacity to reason, then that intellectual activity becomes an intelligent activity. And that intelligent activity is called intellectual property.
Okay, so Nakul, tell us what are the forms of intellectual property and where does it flow from?
So intellectual property, in a nutshell, can be defined as creations, innovations, inventions, which the human race, gets into. Apart from brands, right? Very unique brands can be protected as trademarks. So let me begin from trademarks. Trademarks is a brand, a mark which is capable of distinguishing one industry from other industry. Okay, so goods and services are differentiated from one to another. Like you have a brand which is Reliance, then you have brand which is a Jio, then you have brand which is Adani, then you have brand which is ITC, and then there are a lot of sub brands within ITC, within Reliance, and within Adani also. So the consortium of brands is called trademarks. Trademarks are protectable for 10 years in India, and their time taken for registration is less than a year now. So trademarks have to be applied with the trademark registry, which are located at 5 locations in India. Then I would like to discuss other form of intellectual property, which is design. Designs are very unique. The shapes that are viewable to the naked eye qualify for a design. Design has to be applied with the Patent and Design Office, which is situated in Calcutta. The right of the design which the applicant gets is 10 years, which is renewable for further 5 years. So I forgot to mention in trademarks that every 10 years the right is renewable for 10 years more. And if you keep on renewing that right for every 10 years, then it is in fact an infinite right. But design, it is not so. Design, after 5 years of renewal, that's it. And if you publish the design, you cannot apply. So it is very important for the participants to understand that before you actually get excited and publish the design anywhere, you have to apply the design and then you can, after an application is made, you can then go on publishing the designs. Okay. Then the next form of intellectual property which I want the participants to know is copyright. Copyright is the creativity which anyone does. The creativity can be the work which is literary work, which means the literature, the books we write. Then it can be the story of film, lyrics, music, which is qualified as musical work, beautiful paintings and sculptures, which are qualified as artistic works, and so on and so forth. So these are the types of copyright which are very artistic and creative. The right of copyright is the longest, which is life of author plus 60 years. So the entire life of author, and he can actually give those rights in the will and to his heirs and actually pass on that legacy for more 60 years. Okay. So I have several clients who have come to me and successfully, they have sold the creative rights of, let's say, Gujarati poets or Gujarati authors or their books which have been written. I have been involved in such projects where clients, where the son of such copyright holders or daughters of such copyright holders have sold these rights to various producers of Gujarati films and successfully made money even after the author has died. So copyright is very interesting. You do not need to apply copyright. Whenever you publish the copyright, from the date of publication, the copyright begins. However, applying copyright will help you in case of enforcement and also will properly document your intellectual property in case there is a time when such sale or such assignments take place after the author or the owner has passed away. Okay. And the last right which I would like to discuss before moving on to geographical indication is patent. Patent is a very technical right. It is involved with the science, technology, and engineering a lot, apart from pharmaceuticals. So anything that one discovers, invents, and which has the capacity to be industrially applicable, and which is not a part of the prior art, which is new and completely new and novel, can be protected as a patent for 20 years. After 20 the patent expires, it cannot be renewed. But when an applicant at the end of 17th or 18th year of the patent right adds certain amount of advantage, then he gets a new patent. And the patent can be further, then he gets a new patent for 20 years more. So that is how the right can be tweaked and prolonged. But that is one aspect of it. Patent takes the longest time to get registered. It takes around 36 months on an average, and for a smooth registration. Moving on to geographical indications. So one more thing I forgot to say is that before you actually apply, before you actually publish or show that invention anywhere, it is very important to apply. Same like design. Once you publish, it cannot be applied. So in case of patents. And the one more right is geographical indication, which is given to an association, not an individual. The famous example of geographical indication is Darjeeling tea, which is on packaging of various brands, be it Tata tea or be it Wagh Bakri tea. They all have Darjeeling tea affixed on their packaging, which is a geographical indication, which basically tells the customer that this tea has been grown in the hills of Darjeeling. And all these companies are part of this association, and that association is owner of Darjeeling tea trademark, which is a geographical indication. So these are various forms of intellectual property, which I think is important for participants to understand for today. And trade secrets, semiconductors, and plant breeders' rights. These are the rights. These are very technical intellectual properties which can be discussed in a later seminar.
Okay. So Nakul, how does intellectual property works in a success of any organization?
This is a very interesting question. So whenever my clients ask me how to go about their intellectual property, I always tell them that apply to the maximum, create a big portfolio, do not think of intellectual property as an expense, but think of intellectual property as an investment. Invest in intellectual property with the same zeal that you invest in real estate.
Okay.
You know, don't think that intellectual property is just an expense, it's just a showpiece. Like, I'll give you an example. I'll answer this question with an example.
I was just
A
going
local
to
industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the local industry was ice cream manufacturer sold to acquired by Korean giant for approximately 1,000 crores. And you'll be surprised to know that 90% of the deal value actually came from its intellectual property portfolio, which consisted of trademarks, copyrights, and other secrets.
Okay.
So this is a huge takeaway, you know, for all the participants and the industry, you know, particular, that if you do not have any creativity, or if you do not have any uniqueness in your designs or copyrights, and if you do not have any patents, try and document your trade secrets, you know. Try and build the portfolio of your trademark in a manner that whenever your business is acquired or whenever you are in a collaborative activity, that IP should stand out and award you the maximum return. Why only so selling or collaboration? Even if you value your business one day, you will realize, the industry will realize, that IP can get you the value which is much more than its physical assets and other areas of valuation. So my only suggestion to industry today is that forget enforcement, forget any other aspect of law. I am only saying, do very simple things. Identify your trademarks, designs, copyrights, and patents, and just apply. Or just go to an expert and tell him that I want to strategize, advise me. You know, how to go about it, I don't know. So it's a taboo. It's not a taboo to ask about intellectual property. It's a very deep field, and encouraging industry to at least explore it.
Right. So there are so many startups coming up. I think that is very essential for them to understand, and this platform is basically created for those startups. Now, Nakul, tell us, how are the legal proceedings defined in intellectual property?
So I'll begin with startups first. I'll answer this question into two phases. So one phase that I want to discuss is about startups. Why startups succeed? You know, let's make it a little positive. Usually, I have read seminar titles, why startups fail, but why startups succeed? And startups succeed because intellectual property has a big role to play. Mainly startups and innovation go hand in hand.
Right.
Okay. And startups have a lot of intellectual property potential and portfolio if they have been advised in the right fashion.
Okay.
So my first advice to startup is not to get excited. Okay, you have something on your plate, you are very excited about it, but I would tell them to hold their horses and get to a legal expert within their team or an outsider who is advising them. Go to that legal expert or may sit with that expert and document your innovation, uniqueness, and intellectual property. Documenting is preparing an NDA before talking to someone, preparing a service contract for that service vendor who is involved in that intellectual, preparing a confidential document of one-page terms and conditions to present intellectual property to that angel investor, to that funder, to a company who's going to give you funds, who's going to collaborate with you with a startup to take it on a mega scale. So if you skip documentation, then probably in 3-4 months you will have a conflict of interest situation where that company or that individual will be standing next to you in the probably in the same meeting and asking for funds, and probably he'll be after you in that queue. So avoid that conflict of interest. Prepare strong documents. Go to an intellectual property expert or go to a legal expert. Document your intellectual property also by application. Now just apply. You know?
Okay.
just whatever you have, just apply, then document it, and then go about in the society asking for funds or singing about that intellectual property. So my advice to startups is, don't lose out on your intellectual properties, apply, document, and raise funds, and make it a mega company in 5 years, and then do whatever you like with it. Next is how are the legal proceedings of intellectual property. So this I would divide in two blocks. One block is with the registrations and revocations. The next block is with the enforcements. So when you want to apply and register an intellectual property, you have to go to the intellectual property registry and tell the registry that, okay, I have this creativity, uniqueness, brand or invention. Please register it. So they will register it. There is a process. It will take time. They'll register it. Then you come across various intellectual properties which you feel are subsequent to yours, and you need to stop them. So you either oppose their applications, or if they are registered, you file a revocation petition in the registry or in the Intellectual Property Appellate Board, which is the appellate authority of the registry. And if you are dissatisfied, if your application is rejected and you are dissatisfied with the merits of your rejection, then you can always appeal the decision in the Intellectual Property Appellate Board again. So this is one aspect which is specifically related to applications and registrations of intellectual property, including revocations and applications. The other block is the court, where you go to court when you find anybody is misleading, illegally using, or if somebody is copying, exactly counterfeiting your product in the market. That can be by brand, that can be by invention, that can be by design, and that can be by copyright. So all such breaches, when they happen, you approach the court, and court has the exclusive jurisdiction over market. The registry does not have anything to do with use. So you go to court, you tell the court that, see, look, there is a illegal use which is happening, and I am the registered proprietor, or I am the intellectual property owner. So you please grant me protection and stop the counterfeiter by granting an injunction to me in my suit. So this is how the two blocks and legal proceedings, in a very basic fashion, I have explained to you that how the legal proceedings in the intellectual property world work.
The industry is concerned, and how does an intellectual property play a role in post-pandemic world?
So intellectual property, when I have read tremendous articles, I have been part of many global seminars, and I don't say this because I'm an IP expert, but this is the truth, that whoever will have a strong IP portfolio will rule the post-COVID world for quite some time.
All right.
Having said that, I encourage the MSMEs to do a lot of innovation and try and bring quality, innovative products to the market. Because see, there is a lot of foreign investment which is going to come in, or probably has started rolling in, not only in some parts of India, but almost all the states of India, because everybody is nowadays holding world summits for investment, every state of the country. And that investment, not only why are we discussing India? That investment that is going to be disinvested from one portion of the world is going to flow to every portion of the world. So every small to medium scale industry across the world, I would like to tell them that bring innovative and quality products, focus a little on research and development, probably lose the strings of your budget a little there, and start saving everywhere else. The bigger players in the market all over the world, including India, are already doing it. They, believe it or not, they are already making those intellectual property filings in the times of COVID. So after post-COVID, when the market opens, they have registered intellectual properties, or they are first in the market to actually circumvent that intellectual property in their name and lead the market post-coronavirus. So a lot of IP filings, I would believe, have to be done. Do not shy away from those expenses. look after those expenses, look after your intellectual property, this is the best time to invest in it. And my advice would be to SMEs and MSMEs to focus more. The bigger players have the infrastructure, have the budgets, they are already doing it. So I would want MSMEs to keep up with them.
True. So, what should the industry focus on after the pandemic is over, and how would it matter?
So, industry has to focus on different joint activities. I would believe probably you have one expertise or you have an innovation, but that is not fulfilling for your company. So you have to feel and probably because of coronavirus, you do not have that research budget. So my advice is to collaborate. A lot of my clients, have started looking for joint activities where they have one sort of uniqueness or innovation. But to complete that full circle, they are finding different companies who can bring that other block, and both of them can then lead the market with that stronger innovation. So one suggestion is that complete your intellectual properties, even if it means that you have to collaborate with some other industry, then do that, because not being in the market and completely diminishing yourself is it's better to collaborate with someone and lead the market rather than completely pulling yourself off the market. So that is one suggestion, which the trend that I've seen in my clients. The second is watch out for those intellectual property applications worldwide. A lot of my clients have begun filing intellectual property applications all over the world, be it trademarks, designs, or copyrights, because the reason why they are doing this is they want to be first in that market also. So when they go for any joint activity or collaboration, or when they go in that market, they do not want to lose out on having an unregistered intellectual property and approaching someone, or losing out on capitalizing those markets also. So it will hurt the industry when I say this, but also focus more on your international applications now to reap the fruits later, and stronger IP strategies. Like I have always said, that better documentations in terms of NDAs, confidentiality, your intellectual properties, while having these collaboration activities will help you a lot, because things will have more clarity and transparency, and your collaborative partners will refrain from any misadventure.
Okay. So, as an IP expert, Nakul, you already elaborated a little bit on the portfolio, the intellectual portfolio, IP portfolio. Do you want to add something more that, how startups should go about it, and especially in the time of COVID? I think you briefly touched on it.
Yeah, I have briefly touched, but I will still try and introspect more for the sake of the participants. Startups, when I see them, they are like a baby. So, and with huge potential. So I have advised a lot of startups. Let me, by introspecting, I meant giving you examples. So I have served as an advisor to a lot of startups. So what not to do, why I'll give you an example to tell the startups what not to do. So I had a startup client who, without NDA, who got excited and without making an NDA or any sort of confidential document, went to a company for funds. Now my client presented a beautiful presentation with sort of innovation that it had, and awards that it got, and all that sort of stuff, but forgot to make a document before the meeting. So my client, after completing the presentation and leaving the meeting, never heard from the company, only to realize that after 3 or 4 months, the company started sending feeders in the market by way of digital marketing of the same very product with some better quality advantages, because the company had huge budgets on research. The startup, my client came to me, and then I said that we can definitely go after them with what are the proofs? They have already tweaked your product. They have come out with a product with considerable advantages because they have had the budgets. It's a bad luck to you. We have applied for a product for sure. You have presented but not documented.
Right.
So what will we go after? We have nothing to go after, except for our intellectual property applications, but they differ a lot because they have brought substantial advantages to things that you have presented. So this is the situation. My startup had to stop that product there and completely go into research for 6 months and come out with something else. So it got back by 1 year. It lost out 1 year for that small mistake that it did. Was in that excitement, it went to a meeting thinking that the funds would be dispersed within a week and it can go about the whole world selling the product. But unfortunately something entirely different happened, and this is the thing that I want to tell the startups: why to apply, document, and then go about it.
So, do you have any specific advice to the?
And in times of COVID, I'm very sorry, I'm cutting in. In times of COVID, I would like to complete the answer. For the question, for the last bit of question that you raised, that in times of COVID, it gets increasingly important for startups, because believe it or not, there will be a lot of investors who are looking out there to invest their funds. Rather than pumping that funds in those businesses, their own businesses, they would like to have the funds invested in some startups which can give them very quick returns with their innovative products, or they want to collaborate with startups because they have some innovative products. So the thing that I said, that they have the block A but block B is with the startup, so they want the startup to come on board. So in times of COVID, it will become very important for startups to maintain a very healthy IP portfolio by applying, and then also document for such collaborative activities, and be on a lookout. Just attend those webinars, talk to people, go and talk to industry associations. That clicks will happen anywhere at any time.
True. So, do you have any specific advice to the students or the researchers who are working in the IP field?
Yes, my advice to the good that you brought up this question. My advice to the researchers and the students is to speed up all the raw research and any sort of intellectual property, proposed intellectual property you're working on. Why I tell this to them is, this is the best time for your proposed IP or research to be picked up by big giants and give you some fruitful payments for it. Why I say this is, everybody wants to cut down on research. Nobody wants to do research at this point in time. Also, for it goes the same for the bigger FMCGs also. And if you have that innovation with you, they won't mind paying you some great money, because at the end of the day, it will be only 1% of the money that they are going to invest for the same product. So they'll give you some good deals. Better you speed up your researches, your innovations, go to your IP cells in your universities, present a prototype, get going about it. Or if you are an individual, you can approach the chambers and the associations who have such IP cells, and start applying, at least start getting advice through those IP cells. And apply your intellectual property not only in a single country, but all the countries that you feel have that advantage to your innovation. Identify the markets, be smart about it, and with all that material, you I'm sure will be picked up very soon by a big giant and paid 100 times the money that you invested in your research and in your IP portfolio.
Okay, so I think that wraps up all the questions, Nakul. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your insight. I'm sure that all the viewers would like us to do a series of seminars like this, but we will come up with something in the near future. Thank you, Nakul.
I'm glad that I came. I became a part of this Globinar, and I had a wonderful time answering your questions. All your questions were very inquisitive and very in depth, especially in times of COVID. Thank you once again for having me, and I'll be back again soon in your next Globinar on intellectual property. So thank you, participants, and thank you to your foundation and to you for making this happen.
Thank you, Nakul. For all the viewers, if you have any questions, please feel free to write to Nakul. I've already shared the email address of Nakul with you guys. So just write to him and he will try to answer as many questions as possible. Thank you.
I will surely. Thank you.